So, as promised, this is episode 1 on Jay's T25 build. There's quite a few comments in the last video about the audio that we were using on this camera. Turns out I had the mic plugged into the headphone port instead of the mic port, so hopefully the audio is working a little bit better in this video. We'll see. So, rundown. This is Jay, there.
Oh, hello.
And this is his T25. We've done some work on this previously. It used to be owned by a guy called David Clark. It's running a Subaru engine in the back. It's got hydraulics on it. We had it in previously to do, this was before we were even in this workshop. We done the engine raise on it, done a load of extra lowering work and sort of tubbed into the smaller tubs into the doors. Bits and bobs like that. Now Jay is going Bodydrop on it now, but there's also going into paint to have bits sorted out. There's just some little like scabby bits here, there and everywhere. But Jay's also, I said, he's changing the van around, so like he's changing the windows to clear windows instead of tinted windows. So this weekend, Jay's come up and we're stripping it down. We're just gonna strip it down to basically a bare shell, which obviously isn't usually necessary for a body drop. We've got to strip a certain amount out of it. But yeah, because it's going for bits of paint, it's going over to LA Customs in Durham, which are about 20 minutes up the road from here. So we're going to strip it fully so that we can then do the body drop, and then we'll take it over to paint, then it'll come back, and then Jake can come up and rebuild it. So yeah, this is the start of it. Sorry, I keep saying my bad. I'll try my hardest not to too much. Even Jay's oven in the background.
I just go like. I say like.
Like, yeah?
Oh, like this.
Yeah. Boys are stripping away. Let's get on with it. Alright, it's day 2. Sunday. Sorry, Jack comes. Right. As usual, we've just got on with it instead of filming, and I keep forgetting to pick up the camera. I've filmed a couple of little bits, but not everything that I should have done. So I'm going to run you through what we've done so far and what we're doing, so that you've got some idea.
To be fair, the amount of dust that's been in this van, you probably wouldn't have been able to see anything anyway.
Yeah. So, basically cut out the whole front end. We're cutting out the tubs. With Miles's, we cut out the tub section. You have to raise this little section here for all the arm and everything to come up, but we tried to keep a lot of the original stuff like battery trays and that. Jay's is going a little bit different. He's going full width bed, which hasn't got a frame, full width bed, full width seat, sorry, which hasn't got a frame. But basically the base of it is just going to like velcro down onto the tubs. So we got rid of everything, like the whole lot, so that we could just got an open plane to put the tubs in at the height that we need, which is going to be about here somewhere, across basically to this rail, and then all the way down to the floor. Then this section we'll just make as floor again, basically, rather than having it all up with the battery trays. Battery's going to go in the middle somewhere, and we'll make this into some sort of, so it'll have almost like a bulkhead across this bottom bit, and Jay's going to make some sort of cabinet in here. We'll obviously put a frame in and possibly metalwork inside, but then Jay will be able to put like a wooden face on there, trimmed. with a door of some description. So that make our life easier because we can just make one big tub, less shapes. It'll just be, you know, flat top, curved front, flat back, flat sides. Easy. Right. Body drop. So, for those that don't know what a body drop is, that are watching this, a body drop essentially is you cut the chassis out of the van and raise it up into the van and drop the body down. So we've done work on this previously with tubs and notching and bits and bobs to get it as low as possible with the chassis at the height that it was. Done some measurements and calculations, and we know we need to do a 4-inch body drop on this one because of how low it already is. Here comes Jack.
Stop saying
I'm sorry. So, we've got to raise everything 4 inches. There's a nice line on these, as you can see. Jay has been a massive help this weekend in cleaning everything up, because one of the hardest parts, well, not hardest parts, the most tedious parts of doing a body drop is cleaning everything up. There's a lot of cutting and a lot of welding. The cleaning up in the middle is just a pain in the ass, and none of us like doing it. So we've been marking out, and I've been cutting, and Jay's just been going around with the wire wheel on the drill and just cleaning everywhere that's going to need welding, basically, so that when we actually come to raising it and welding it, we can just get on with it instead of having to clean everything up first.
Yeah, for those that think it's just cut, weld, done, yeah, that is not the case.
So, yeah, for the past 2 days, Jay's just been cleaning. Literally just cleaning. So that's 2 days saved for me on this already. Right. So yeah, long and short of it, we've got to cut the body off the chassis. Best thing about doing this is all your controls and everything basically stay the same. Everything that goes from the front to the back, gear linkage, all that sort of stuff stays the same. So we haven't got to mess around with modifying too much other stuff. Start at the back, so we'll have to cut across behind the engine hatch and cut along down here. It's not as easy as this, as what I'm describing it. We've got to cut out to the outsides and put a strip in there, basically. So obviously that will all come up 4 inches, and then we'll weld it all back in. Same down here, we'll have to cut a strip out. Along here, we've got a nice line to follow, which then makes a nice step. Then we've got to cut through these chassis strengtheners here, the ones that are there with all the rear arm mounts, all that stuff will come up. Sorry. We've got to take all of this front cross member out. So what we'll do is cut that across here. Sorry for the pointy finger. Take that entire front strengthener out, and we'll put something back in, basically. We'll cut through the chassis around here and lift up, and then that new section will be inside the chassis rail there, which will then tie in all that. Here's all the gear linkage, so we've come round this section. So basically, this section you see here, and all of this will all come up, and the outer body will go down. Sorry. Yeah, I've cut out 3 inches there, because it doesn't, this is going to come up 4 inches obviously, but it'll just give us a little bit of meat underneath, ready to weld to. So there'll be lots of little bits that have to be pieced in. The floor will obviously come up at a little slope here before it then goes into the tub. And that's where we are at currently. So front end is all cut out. I've started cutting out this one along here. I'm now about to cut that rear tub out, just because, like I said, we'll cut up along this line, but I'll take this strip section out inside there, and same here, we'll cut along there, but I'll take this strip section out underneath the strengtheners and then go all the way to the edge afterwards. And round the back. Yes, lots of fun.
Oh yes.
So, it's Sunday. It's about 3 o'clock. Jay's going to go home soon because he lives about 3 hours away. I'm going to carry on just cutting stuff out. Jack's going to keep telling me off for saying Come on, boy. Right. Carry on. Do some more cutting for a change. Camera's charged, ready for another day of filming. Another day, another jumper, because, you know, this is dusty work. Look at that pile of scrap. Nice. Right. So, once I put you down yesterday, I carried on cutting bits out, obviously. The van is now supported. So what we've had to do is put the chassis of the van on stands and then put the body of the van on the ramp. So obviously there's a cut line, as you can see. So I've gone through these strengtheners here on this side, and I've gone through all these rear jacket points and everything is all cut out in here now, ready to go. Cleaned up a little bit and marked up, ready for the chassis rails. So basically the next step is to cut through that rail. Come around here. Cut through that rail. Cut through that rail. And obviously cut through the rail the other side. Taking the cross member off, we will work that out afterwards. That's usually be nice to be able to make something that is just off the shelf that we could do on each one, but each body drop tends to be a different height. Like Miles's one was 6 inch, was it, Jack? Yeah. Jack's old one was, I think, about 4 inches. The one we've got over at Jack's workshop is like 5 inches. This is 4. We could get away with 3 on the front, but we need 4 on the rear, so we're going to do 4 around. So that's the next step. We're just sort of gearing ourselves up, ready for the big wabang. Make sure everything's 100% disconnected and out of the way, so that it can go as smooth as it possibly can go. I'm going to prepare some little bits of box section which are going to tie in the chassis again. I'm going to do that before we even start, so that literally once it lowers down and drops, we can get it measured up and get it attached again sort of straight away, rather than sort of hanging around, because obviously ramps are hydraulic, so they obviously can sag a little bit, so it'll be a pain in the ass if you get it in the right place and then go cut with your box section, and then eventually you come back to it and it's moved a little bit, and then you've got to readjust everything. So yeah, I'm going to do that first, get some little bits of box section cut, and then get ready to go. That, long and short of it, is how you do a body drop. So, obviously we'll have to go mess around each corner to corner, but as you can see, that chassis is now up there, instead of down there. And everything's a little bit more gappy. So yeah, we'll basically now go around each corner and set it with the ramp, line it up again, tack it all into place basically, do each corner. That bottom sill's gone nicely, hasn't it? I pulled that a minute ago. Just went to like give the body a wiggle and just ended up pulling a big bit out of my hand. We'll have a T25. Well, that went quite nicely. It didn't whoop bang to the floor. Lovely. just like that, we have a Bodydrop van. Logo. So yeah, welded in some bits of box to support all the chassis rails back together again. Chucked it on the floor. So you can see now, obviously the height that things are gonna come to. We've had to mangle them arches out because those wheels are quite wide. The rears are too wide as well, but we've got to replace those rear wings anyway because of rot. And also, yeah, these are getting replaced. Let's replace some panels over there because they're all mangled and stuff anyway. So not so bad, but yeah, the wheels, we've got to build the wheels up first anyway, and they're 3-piece, so we can choose whatever lips and barrels we want to go for clearance, regardless. And that's how high the step will end up. I guess I'll come around and quickly show you. Do I show? Do I show the van?
Like a green version of the other ones.
So that's where we're going to end this video. We're going to carry on working and carry on filming, so hopefully there'll be another one next week. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, drop a subscribe if you can. If you can. It's
not too much trouble.
Not too much hassle for you, drop a subscribe on it. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode where we start piecing it all back together. The long process, really. Yeah. Catch you next time.